Diablo II Resurrected Infernal Edition revisits one of the most influential action RPGs ever made, but packages it with expanded content, additional cosmetic rewards, and endgame focused enhancements aimed at veteran players. At its core, this is still Diablo II. And the dark, methodical, loot-driven experience that defined the genre. The question is whether the Infernal Edition meaningfully enhances that legacy or simply repackages nostalgia at a premium. Pros and cons. On the positive side, the core gameplay remains timeless. Class builds are deep and highly customizable. Loot progression is addictive and rewarding. Visual remastering continues to impress with detailed environments and dynamic lighting. As endgame replayability remains strong thanks to difficulty tiers and item hunting. On the downside, the base mechanics are intentionally old school, which may feel rigid to modern players. Inventory management remains clunky. Some quality of life improvements are limited, and much of the Infernal Edition content is cosmetic rather than transformative gameplay. At its foundation, Diablo II Resurrected preserves the deliberate pacing and build-focused structure of the original. Combat emphasizes positioning, skill synergy, and careful resource management rather than pure speed. Each class, from Sorceress to Paladin to Necromancer, offers multiple viable build paths, encouraging experimentation. Progression revolves around loot, item rarity, affixes, and rune combinations create a deep layer of optimization. The satisfaction of finding a powerful drop or completing a rune word remains one of the strongest aspects of the experience. The Infernal Edition does not drastically alter core mechanics. Instead, it enhances presentation and offers additional cosmetic content, possibly including exclusive character skins, mounts in linked ecosystems, or special effects. These additions add flair but do not fundamentally change gameplay systems. Endgame and replayability. The real longevity of Diablo II lies in its endgame structure. Nightmare and Hell difficulties demand optimized builds and strategic play. Farming high-level bosses and chasing rare gear becomes the primary loot for dedicated players. The Infernal Edition leans into this by catering to committed fans who value long-term progression. However, it does not reinvent the endgame. It reinforces what already exists rather than expanding it significantly. Visuals and audio. The remastered visuals remain one of the strongest upgrades. Environments are richly detailed with improved lighting, enhanced character models, and smoother animations. Importantly, players can toggle between classic and modern visuals, preserving the original aesthetic for purists. Audio design stays faithful to the iconic atmosphere. Ambient soundscapes, dungeon echoes, and the haunting soundtrack maintain the oppressive tone that defines Diablo II. Accessibility and modern standards. While the remaster improves resolution and performance, the underlying systems remain rooted in early 2000s design philosophy. Inventory space is limited. Stash management requires planning. Respec options are available but not unlimited without effort. For longtime fans, this rigidity is part of the appeal. For newer players accustomed to streamlined ARPG systems, it may feel restrictive. Final verdict. Diablo II Resurrected. Infernal Edition is ultimately a celebration of a classic rather than a reinvention. The core gameplay remains as compelling as ever, driven by deep build customization and satisfying loot progression. However, the Infernal Edition's additions are evolutionary rather than revolutionary. It enhances presentation and rewards dedicated fans, but it does not significantly expand the formula. For veterans seeking a polished return to one of the genre's defining experiences, this edition delivers exactly what it promises. For newcomers expecting modern ARPG conveniences and large-scale new systems, it may feel dated. Final score, 8.7 out of 10.